We've been exploring some lost tech, some battle mech designs that for one reason or another in the narrative have been discontinued or that you don't see very often on the tabletop. And from the perspective of the hex map, of the tactics, are there some non-mainstream mechs out there that we can play, that we can explore? And in this Battletech Tactica Vlog, we're going to be exploring a medium mech. We're looking at the Talos. And this is another mech that, despite priding myself on knowing my Battletech stuff, I was not quite aware of it. So I'm building a list of some of these obscure machines for one reason or another that we need to look at, that we need to review, and ask the question, does this have a place in our collection, or building a lance out of it? The primary weapon is an autocannon 10, 2 LRM 5-packs. Now that's very interesting right there. 2 5-packs. And a short-range missile 6-pack. So essentially, I see this as a trooper mech. We've got 3 primary ranges, long, medium, and short. At medium range, we've got a little bit of overlap with the medium range, long-range missile 5-packs, that autocannon 10. It's going to be doing something every single turn. It is a medium mech, so we're not going to dish out tons of alpha damage. I'm not having the role of a heavy or an assault mech, but we're going to be rolling some dice every single turn. Now, it is dependent on ammunition. Will it run dry? How long does a game last? It does open up possibilities that I've got all this ammo being inner sphere inside me. It could explode. I do have to watch the heat. And then, of course, on top of that, managing ammo versus the different ranges. Now, it's not a mix of energy. So the heat is going to be manageable. I find with medium mechs, when you have a mix of energy and ammo weapons, you want to push it with the energy weapons. That tends to push the heat. Generally speaking, ammo weapons run a little bit cooler. So as soon as we're in range, I'm going to be shooting that autocannon 10 and the 2 5-packs. The 2 5-packs are interesting because if you could fit a question, if I've got 2 5s, why not just take a 10? Move a couple of things around and push out with a 10. Based on the spread, in theory, there's a little bit more damage that you can push out. But that damage that you could push out by 2 5s hitting is a little bit less. It's not quite there. Obviously, the 10 is going to do more damage than a 5 with a good roll on the spread. But this idea of redundancy, having 2 shots at the 5-pack, 2 shots to connect and do a little bit of damage, 2 shots to possibly connect at range and hit a critical component. I would rather have the 2 5-packs to spread that out and push it. It's going to be more stuff potentially hitting down on the table. And then packing some decent punch at a shorter range. That 6-pack, I would expect to kind of see a 4, but since we're upping it to a 6, that's got a really good spread. So I see the Talos as attach it to any lance. I would attach this to any lance. I don't need to custom build the lance or tailor the lance to it. And as soon as I'm in range, I'm firing that autocannon. I'm firing those missiles. As soon as we get to medium, continuing to fire. As soon as we get to short, I'm going to fire. I will push that ammo. In terms of it running dry, I think if you're playing a campaign or a string of missions, possibly. But most of the games that I tend to play in Battletech are one-off scenarios or one-off missions where your mech comes in fully supplied and resupplied every game. So I'm not quite as afraid of running out of ammo, but that's the only place that I see this. It is so dependent on ammo. If you run dry, that could be a potential issue.